Have you ever felt forgotten, even by God Himself? Maybe your prayers seem unanswered, your struggles feel unseen, and silence fills the space where you expected His voice. But what if I told you that God has made a promise so tender, so unshakable, that He bound it to His very name? I will not forget thee. Today we reflect on the hymn Sweet is the Promise, I will not forget thee. It was written and composed in 1889 by Charles Hutchinson Gabriel, one of the most influential gospel songwriters of his era. Gabriel was a master at creating both melody and message, which is why so many of his hymns remain beloved today. Sweet is the promise, I will not forget thee. This hymn flows directly from the comforting words of Isaiah 49 verses 15 to 16, where God assures His people, "Can a woman forget her nursing child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yeah, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have engraved thee upon the palms of my hands." Gabriel's genius was his ability to take such a promise and clothe it in simple, singable lines that ordinary believers could carry in their hearts. That's why more than 130 years later, this hymn is still a source of peace, reminding us that God's love does not fade and His memory never fails. The opening verse speaks of assurance in dark times, and it shows us that even in the valley, hope points to an eternal day. Sweet is the promise, I will not forget thee. Nothing can molest or turn my soul away. E'en though the night be dark within the valley, just beyond is shining an eternal day. This verse meets us in our valleys. Darkness is real, it's not denied here. But darkness doesn't last forever. Psalm 23 comes to mind. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Notice the certainty. I will not forget thee. The singer isn't clinging to optimism, but to a divine promise. Beyond the valley lies an eternal day, echoing Revelation 21 verse 23, where we're told the Lamb Himself will be our light. The refrain resounds with a declaration of God's personal care, and it anchors the hymn by repeating His tender promise, I will not forget thee or leave thee. In my hands I'll hold thee, in my arms I'll fold thee, I will not forget thee or leave thee. I am thy Redeemer, I will care for thee. Here's the hymn's anchor. Like a chorus echoing in the soul, it reassures us that God's promise is not just about memory, it's about presence and care. He doesn't merely remember us, He folds us in His arms. Think of John 10 verse 28, where Jesus says, "No one shall snatch them out of my hand." The refrain becomes a sung theology of security. God's hands are not weak, His arms are not short, His heart is not forgetful. Here, the hymn shifts toward faith in the faithful Redeemer, and it highlights His nearness and guidance through life's trials. Trust in the Lord, thy Redeemer ever faithful. Near thee in sorrow, whatever may betide, He will sustain thee and guide thee through the tempest, and with His Spirit ever will abide. This verse moves from promise to instruction. Trust. When sorrow presses close, trust is the believer's act of defiance against despair. Isaiah 41 verse 10 resounds here. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. The verse pictures storms and tempests, chaos we can't control. Yet God's Spirit abides, never abandoning ship. The Christian life is not storm-free, but it is never spirit-empty. The closing verse carries us beyond present struggles, and it envisions the moment we hear the Savior's welcome into everlasting rest. When at the golden portals I am standing, all my tribulations, all my sorrows past. How sweet to hear the blessed proclamation. Enter, faithful servant, welcome home at last. Here the hymn lifts our eyes from present valleys to eternal glory. The promise isn't just survival, it's homecoming. Matthew 25 verse 23 echoes in these lines. Well done, good and faithful servant, enter into the joy of your Lord. This verse closes the hymn with a forward glance. It connects our earthly struggles with heavenly hope. The day when God's promise not to forget us culminates in eternal belonging. I remember a story shared by a missionary who was serving far from home, feeling isolated and forgotten. In a moment of weakness, he opened a hymn book and stumbled on I Will Not Forget Thee. Singing the refrain out loud became a turning point. It reminded him that even if no one on earth remembered where he was, heaven had not lost track of him. I think many of us have those moments. When life feels like silence, this hymn becomes a whisper of God's steady voice. I will not forget thee. What about you? Has there been a season when this hymn, or its message, spoke directly into your life? Which verse resonates most with your journey right now? I'd love to hear your reflections in the comments. Your words may be exactly the encouragement someone else needs today. Thank you for joining in today's reflection. If this hymn has blessed you, I invite you to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss the next hymn interpretation. Next week, we'll look at another timeless song of faith that has carried believers through the ages. And as you go, may these words stay with you. Sweet is the promise, I will not forget thee. May your heart be lifted, your faith strengthened, and your spirit renewed by this song.
Sweet is thy promise, I will not forget thee. Nothing can molest hearts on my soul away. And though the night be dark within the valley, just beyond his shining an eternal day, I will not forget thee or leave thee. In my hands I'll hold thee, in my arms I'll hold thee. I will not forget thee or leave thee. I am the Redeemer, I will care for thee. Trust in thy promise, I will not forget thee. Onward will I go with songs of joy and love. Though earth despise me, though my friends forsake me, I shall be remembered in my home above. I will not forget thee or leave thee. In my hands I'll hold thee, in my arms I'll hold thee. I will not forget thee or leave thee. I am the Redeemer, I will care for thee. When on thy golden portals I am standing, all my tribulations, all my sorrow past, how sweet to hear thy blessed proclamation, and the faithful servant welcome home at last. I will not forget thee nor leave thee. In my hands I hold thee, in my hands I hold thee. I will not forget thee or leave thee. I am the Redeemer, I will care for thee. I will not forget thee or leave thee. In my hands I hold thee, in my arms I hold thee. I will not forget thee or leave thee. I am thy Redeemer, I will care for thee. I will not forget thee or leave thee. In my arms I hold thee, in my arms I hold thee. I will not forget thee nor leave thee. I am thy Redeemer,